Welcome back, Krystle Rich for NBC Sports Philadelphia. We are just a couple of days away from the Eagles' win and their in matchup against the Giants, but we do have some bad news on the injury front. Zach Ertz will not play due to rib and back injuries.
It's a pattern so clear you can almost crochet it yourself. So far this season, the Chargers have lost to, won to, lost to, won to. According to the pattern, the Bolts should be able to win a tough one against Baltimore and a struggling New England team. No matter the outcome, they'll have to do it without their star outside linebacker, Joey Bosa. There are two types of people on Thanksgiving Day: those who get dressed up just to go in the kitchen, and those who wear good old-fashioned sweatpants with enough stretch in the waist. My sweats are in the back, I promise. In a Turkey Day NFC East battle between Dallas and Washington, the Cowboys didn't have to try so hard. My thought is they be the guests in the stretchy sweatpants, enough room to maneuver, adjust, and ultimately be happier at the end of the night as they dominated their division opponent. Matt Stafford reunited with Megatron Calvin Johnson before the game. He also came out on the field about 3 hours before kickoff just to take in the atmosphere. But he said the thing that he will remember most is not getting the job done. Also, their run defense was dominant. Stanford was held to under 50 yards rushing in the first half of the game, and their third down defense even better. The Rams really struggled on both sides of the ball early in this game. As you mentioned, especially offensively, they just could not get anything going. Way too many 3-and-outs. Then a change happened. We saw a fight in this team, a willingness to rally late in this game, led by Matt Stafford in his return after taking that huge hit in the fourth, where you collectively heard everyone gasp, but that led to an interception. Stafford came back and orchestrated a touchdown drive on the next possession that seemed to galvanize the entire team. The defense made plays. We saw big pickups, and despite them not being able to get in the end zone to seal it late, they hung on by a thread to sweep their division rival. Philadelphia dominated the Rams in almost every category: time of possession, total offense, with 23 more plays, and made the Rams one-dimensional, taking away the game on the ground. Despite Sean McVay masterfully reacclimating Cooper Kupp in the first half with 95 yards, the Eagles were simply more efficient. That was such a hard way to lose, since Sean McVay could not challenge that 4th-and-1 conversion by the Steelers. And despite so many heroic plays early on from Puka Nacua, the Rams once again showed that they have such a small margin for error. It all started with some early drops from Cooper Kupp, and that third quarter interception by Matt Stafford was described as just killer. Add on some defensive hiccups later on, and there was just a total momentum swing. There are a lot of position battles for the silver and black, but the overwhelming takeaway is from a position that is already secure. Rookie quarterback Aiden O'Connell played against a pro defense for the first time in his career, a defensive-minded coach with defensive struggles. The Chargers actually started off their week 1 matchup with a spectacular red zone defense highlighted by a Nick Williams fumble recovery and a Derwin James Jr. end zone pass breakup. But ultimately, the connection between Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill was too much to overcome. In the first half, he really showed off his arm strength. In the second half, his resilience. But it was their red zone blunders that really did this team in tonight. On the opposite side of the ball, the Rams defense had their work cut out for them with the Lions' electric offense. Detroit scored on their first 3 possessions with an incredibly balanced attack. The Rams D struggled at times, missing key tackles in space, and they didn't pressure Jared Goff as much as we thought they would in the first half. The Lions' season-long tough run defense held LA to only 22 yards on the ground at the half, and even though the Rams showed tremendous fight, making it a 1-point game, tonight was about a new era in Detroit. We can't forget about Dallas Goedert. Fly, Eagles, fly, but he has been flying under the radar. The circus of Super Bowl week is finally over, and tomorrow's big game has a lot of juicy matchups to look out for. The Eagles have had the outright best offensive line in the NFL all season long, and each offensive player, including Jalen Hurts, can't help but rave about O-line coach Jeff Stoutland. In week 1, the Chargers had more of a balanced offensive attack than we saw saw last season, in so much that they ran the ball more than they threw it. Austin Eckler led the team in rushing with 117 yards, but did not participate in practice with an ankle injury and is listed as doubtful against the Titans. The biggest storyline is the addition of quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, who, by the way, did not practice today. The team is still being cautious as he continues to recover from his foot injury. A must-win game. That's the narrative for both the Chargers and the Minnesota Vikings as they both head into week 3, 0-2. For the Bolts, all eyes will be on their defense as they struggle to defend big plays in the air. Minnesota brings a plethora of big plays to the table, with quarterback Kirk Cousins throwing over 340 yards in each of the first 2 contests.
Michael Locksley said that he was actually impressed with their interior defensive linemen in his 3-4 defense because they did not allow the ball to be ran up the middle. But he did say that they got beat on their edges and defending those C and D gaps. In order to remedy that this week, there will be some mixing and matching at the linebacker position. The Scarlet Knights won their first 3 matchups of the season to non-conference opponents, then dropped their last 3 in Big Ten play. All of those losses, though, came to teams who were ranked in the top 10 in the latest AP poll. Coach, a much-needed win for you in Big Ten play. What does this do for the confidence of your team going forward?
Well, I think it shows our guys the work they're putting in is paying off.
Like you mentioned, the battle was in the trenches. Your D-line was really good. How do you take this momentum and move it forward?
Well, at a time Adebawore was as active, and I'm so proud of him.
Spanning seasons, this is your 6th consecutive game with a touchdown grab. This season, 2nd straight game with over 100 yards receiving. Why are we seeing such consistency out of you?
I mean, that's what I came in to preach early on in the season.
Bo, congratulations on the win. You were definitely a deep threat for your quarterback tonight. How did that help open up the offense?
I think we all did a really good job.
I know your dad is really involved. What would he say about your performance tonight? Is he hard on you?
Yeah.
You can finally exhale. Your day is over. What went into the decision to only participate in the individual drills, and how do you think you did out there?
Yeah, so the decision to do that was just because obviously I had season-ending surgery on my shoulder.
With that season-ending injury, what do you want NFL teams to know about your physical health and your restored physicality as you work to recover?
Coach, random question. Do you like to cook?
I like to cook.
Yeah.
Not really.
Not really.
No, I'm not much of a cooker. My wife, unfortunately for me, I married a good one.
You married a good cooker.
I did.
I asked because you are kind of a chef of sorts as a head coach here. First year, you kind of inherited a team. I don't know a chef that doesn't like to pick their own ingredients. In year 2, do you feel more like the master chef of this team?
I think you always learn about your ingredients, just to play off of what you're saying.
Justin Herbert won 162 passes without an interception before throwing 2 in his first 13 passes today. He didn't connect on a touchdown against the Titans, but when his back was against the wall, him and his army delivered in a big way. Chargers and the Titans going down to the wire today at SoFi Stadium. Under a minute left in the 4th. Bolts up 14-7 until the Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill muscles into the end zone for the 1-yard touchdown. Game tied at 14. But Herbert's army shows up. 32 seconds left of regulation. He runs right, takes down a defender, goes long. Mike Williams with the incredible 35-yard catch under coverage. Take another look. That's the definition of clutch. 3 plays later, it's Cameron Dicker with the 43-yard go-ahead field goal. That would be your game winner. Chargers hang on. 17-14. They're now 8-6 on the season. Purdy looking to become the first rookie quarterback to win a playoff start since 2012. San Francisco wastes no time putting points on the board, up 3-0 in the first. How about we change Purdy's nickname from Mr. Irrelevant to Houdini? Dumps it off to a wide open Christian McCaffrey for the touchdown. 10-0 Niners. Frisco up 6 in the 4th. 2nd and goal. Purdy escapes trouble and finds an uncovered Elijah Mitchell in the flat. Purdy passes for 3 touchdowns and rushes for 1. The Niners steamroll Seattle 41-23. Mr. Irrelevant, who? Dallas put on a scoring clinic in the 4th quarter. Up 10, Dak Prescott airs it out to CeeDee Lamb for a 15-yard score. Lamb's 5th touchdown of the season. Just over 6 minutes to go. Dak steps up, airs it deep, and hits Kevontae Turpin for a 34-yard touchdown. Afterwards, Dak pulls a turkey leg from the Salvation Army cattle for a little mid-game snack. Gobble, gobble. History was made late. Watch this. Sam Howell, his pass intercepted by Deron Bland. He'll take it back for a 63-yard pick six, his 5th pick six of the season, setting a new NFL record. The Cowboys scored 25 in the fourth quarter and win it 45-10.
If we make the playoffs, you're giving me a major side eye right now. What do we do? What does Doug Peterson do?
It's only one thing to do.
Keep the hot hand?
You got to play the hot hand.
Usher's halftime show news conference. Krystle, I have to stop myself from wanting to say Usher sometimes, but also, you know, he's no stranger to Vegas. He just did his residency and had all those viral moments.
Yeah, Chris and Annalisa, I will still call him Usher, aka Ursher, and he just told us his confessions of his Super Bowl halftime performance, and oh my God, it is going to be good. We always appreciate an inside look, because if you're going to tell it, then you've got to tell it all. Usher is absolutely a superstar. He has so many hits, but this is also Las Vegas, so you can probably expect to see some bad girls on that stage as well. He is also so diverse in what he does. He makes you want to get up and dance, and the next second take it nice and slow. He is the king at trading places and doing both. I wish that I could watch this performance with my boo, but if you are watching from home, make sure you grab your phone, turn the volume all the way down. You don't have to call, or else you will miss this big show. Here is Annalisa Ursher on his performance.